Hi folks, I'm Sean McCormick. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the series, of course, where we're talking about getting started with Lightroom Classic 10. Now we're going to talk about an extension of the last video, which was the different selection methods inside of Lightroom. We're going to look at the process of making selects, and we're going to do it using my favorite, which is star ratings. Hey folks, before we get in, there's two things I want to discuss. Obviously, if you want to get more out of this, I say subscribe, so that way you can see when the new videos come online. Hit the bell, all of that kind of stuff. Give it a like if you like the video at the end. But I also want to talk about the fact that I want to do live streams. So I have done a few in the past, but I want to kind of make it more regular. But to do that, I need to know what you want to see in it. Now, obviously, I'm going to do some Lightroom, a little bit of Photoshop, and some plugins. So I'm just going to do the process. And even like the images that I'm going to have today, I might even work through some of them in a live stream. Now, I think tomorrow would be too soon, but I think maybe from next Saturday I might do like an hour or two of a live stream on Saturdays. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So let's get into it anyway. So I did a remote shoot during the week with a model called Natasha Kalashnikova. Sorry, Natasha, my bad. In England. So it was good fun and I got some really cracking shots. She set up the lights the way I wanted and we just worked away. It's a little bit slower process than you would do in a normal shoot, but it's really good fun. I do have a video on remote shooting as well if you want to go back and look at that. Okay, so let's begin. So I've set this up in a collection just for ease. But you can do this from a folder, it doesn't really matter. So what I have here is I have a bunch of images. We have 129 photos here in the list. I don't think there's any nudity in these, at least I hope not. If there is, it's accidental. So there's implied, but like there's not meant to be anything in here. It's not meant to be adult by any stretch of the imagination. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the process that I have. So a lot of people, when they're going to make selections, they would kind of do one image at a time. And that's a bit slow, and the problem with doing one image at a time is that you're not making comparisons. You're just looking at an image and saying, do I like this or not? But if it's similar to another image, you don't know that you like it compared to another image. In a case of this, like where it's like pose to pose and the poses aren't very, very similar, it's actually much harder. And so I'm just going to be showing you the principle more than anything like that. But we will still get a feel for it as well. I've showed this before, but I think it's so important because it does make a difference. Now, where I will actually use this even with clients is in headshots. I'll sit them down beside me or at another monitor with lockdown restrictions and stuff like that, where you have to be 2 meters away. I let them see another monitor and we will go through the images. I find the best thing is that comparison works all the time, but I'm not just going to use the compare module or compare view and have two images. I prefer to have more images, and I feel that after doing it for a long time that the best balance of images is actually 6. When you see 6 images, it's easier to do it. And if you feel overwhelmed by 6, what I do is I start off by removing images, and then so there's less images, and say, so if you can't pick what's the worst, we'll get rid of those so you can see the other ones better. Alright, and we'll show that kind of in the first bit, and then we will move on just how the normal flow works, and you go from there. So what I do is I'm in grid mode, so the main shortcuts you're going to be using is G for grid and N for survey view, okay, and then clicking and shift clicking. So what I do is I make sure that my thumbnails are 6 wide, and you can do this using this thumbnail sliders or the minus and plus keys, okay. So we get it at 6 wide, and this makes the mechanics of it much faster. So you click the first image, which is already selected here, then you shift click the last image in the row, and then you press the N key. All right, we're actually going to get rid of the film strip, and we're going to get rid of the toolbar as well, and then we're going to get rid of the actual top, or the module picker on top. That way we're literally just seeing images. All right, so we're going to press N, and that will bring up 6 images. Alright, so let's say we're talking about the process of getting rid of images before we actually make the selects. Well, you come down here and there's a little X at the bottom of each image as you hover over it. By clicking that, it will drop it out. So you can see we've made them a little bit larger so that we're better able to make selections. And we could say we could get rid of that one there just because they say we didn't like the way the light hit the glasses. So then we can start to go and make our selects from there. So here we're doing our first pass. So for our first pass, we are doing 1-star images. So we're going to use literally the number 1 to just select any or none of the images that we like in a set. So in this case here, this can be a 1, that can be a 1, and I say I prefer the arms in this one, and that's a 1. So now I press G to go back to the grid because we have started off with our preview. So I'd like to select the first image of the next row and then shift click the next one. So I press N. Now we can see I've obviously done a little bit of an edit on this one already because of the difference in color. But what we can do is we can work on from here. So we're doing exactly the same principle. So we're just going to go 1, 1, 1, 1. And I don't like what the arm is doing there, say for example. I'm just saying that may not be true. And then so I'm going to press G again. And so literally click, shift click, N. And then we're just going to fly 1, 1, 1, 1, and G. Alright, so you can see this is pretty straightforward. Okay, now I'm not going to go through all of the image in this because the idea is that I'm teaching you the principle, but I do need to have enough images so that when we get through to a series of filters that we worked our way down. So I do have to show a few of these. So I'm just literally clicking on the image. Now there is a very dark grey border on this. There used to be a white one, so it was easy to see. I don't like this. I've done a feature request to try and get a change back or to get preference. If you go to feedback.photoshop.com and find the Lightroom forum, you too can go in and either find this request or this bug report and vote for it, because it makes life painful. So we moved away from the glasses. I like what the hair is doing there. That's kind of cute. I like that. And so we literally just move on. Right, okay. I think I've hit a 1 on that one before already. You can probably see my issue with the shoot here. There's way too many good images in it. Natasha's a great model and highly recommended. Some of these are already marked from before because when I saw them, I just marked them on the way by. So I'm actually going to be a little bit more. I'm going to do this quickly. Oh, that happens sometimes where it doesn't unclick or doesn't deselect. Right, and I think hopefully, yeah, we'll do up to there because the actual outfit changes from there. Okay, so we'll deal with it if it's this one. So let's say we'll just select that one there from there. All right. Oh, that didn't actually select 1. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I come down here to the bottom. So I'm going to have a look here, and we're at the filter. So if the filter is closed down, you literally click on the word filter and it'll open up. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to select that 1 star, okay? So that will show all of the images that are 1 star. So the idea is that we've seen everything in the set and we've made the comparison inside the set. So we know we've seen all of the images, all right? So I'm just going to literally repeat what I've done there, and I might either do a 4 or an 8 at the end because of the fact that there's 2 additional images. So again, same story. Let me hide this, and the reason why we need to hide this is because it makes them bigger, basically. So now we're allowed to be more critical here because of the fact that we've already seen and said we've liked these images. So now we know there's images here we're going to like more. Let's say, okay, that's going to be a 2-star image. So I press 2, so that bumps it up. Say that's a 2-star image, and that's a 2-star image, we'll say, for now. And this is just showing the process. I mean, I don't think there's anything bad about any of these images in particular, to be honest with you. So we'll call that a 2-star image. That's a 2-star. That's cool, and 2. Alright, and then so the idea here as well is that I'm trying to show you some of the speed that you can do with that here as well. And because I'm talking about it does make it a little bit slower to do. Might look in closer at that, the eyes may not be as open as I think there, but we'll see in the next round. I'm going to do this as 8 just for speed. Oh, actually 9 because it accidentally selected the one from the last. So just get rid of that by clicking there. That one's great. That one's awesome as well. Very hard to choose there now. Alright, and I'm probably doing way too many 2-stars there. But you'll get the idea. So now we come down here, because we're finished the 2-star, we now change the filter to show only the 2 stars. Okay? And so we have 3 rows basically. Left is 3, yeah. Right. And so now we're on to our third 3 stars. So essentially these are going to be the images that we're going to edit first. So that's a 3. So we're using a 3, and we can see the 3 pop up underneath. 3, 3, and 3. And next row. I love what the hair is doing on this one here. 3, 3. Love the white stance there. I think I prefer the hair in that one. And so you're just making selections based on what you like, obviously. And then, so this is our last row. So I'm going to include that as a 3 to compare against the other one in a second. I love the pose there, and I love the shape and that, so 3. Alright. So now we come down here again. and we get our 3 stars, and we see that we've gone from whatever amount of images down to 9. Okay, so we may just bring these all up together if we wanted, or we could split them into 4s and 5s. We could say that I want to edit this one first, so I could, for example, stick a 6. So I press 6. That would give that one a red label. We can see this little red underneath. Let's say I like that one, so that's a red label, and that's going to be a red label, and that's going to be a red label. And then I come in here and I click the filter for the red labels. We can see that I have the 4 images that I'm going to select and edit from this particular set. So that's basically the method. So what's happening is that I am basically whittling down. So we see all of the images, right? We select the ones we like, and then we're only looking at the ones we like, and then we whittle them down further, and then you do as many rounds as you need. Generally I find 3 is enough, and then I'll use like a label or something like that, but I could go to 4 equally so if I wanted. That's up to you. Like the whole point of this method is to give you something that you have a method that you can get through stuff quickly, where you're not getting hung up on stuff. You're able to compare stuff against each other. So you're comparing stuff that you like against stuff that you like at each stage, and so that way you find that you can actually make the best possible selection. So folks, if you're not subscribed, do subscribe to the channel. There's lots of people not subscribed that watch this stuff. I'd really appreciate those subs. I'm really trying to hit that 10k, the magic 10k, where like you're not a Google partner, but I think you get to be put on some kind of a team where you can get help from Google, which would be amazing. I was well on the way before my wife died, but obviously I had to take a backseat. This had to take a backseat, but I'm back on it again. The other thing is, if you did find this video useful, and this I think is one of the strongest things that I teach, and please do share it as well as like it, and hit the notification bell to get notified. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video.